you said.
It's like clicking now it works. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. It is
I'm
me.
Taylor.
I'm back. And Taylor said right before we went live, I'm not going to eat while we're live on the show, and yet here we are, huh?
Come on, one bite, dude. I had to get a potato in there.
One bite. Everybody knows the rules. All right, what's up, guys? How's everybody feeling about that last event? Anybody want to kick us off? Obviously, talk about the weather a little bit there. Pedro, you look ready to blow. What's up, brother?
Do you guys want to know what the Jewel 3 is?
I know what it is. Over under logs. Sorry, do you want me to pop your cherry? Sorry, Peter.
Wait, you know this?
No, go. You go.
I know what it is. You know what it is too, Peter, though.
Yeah.
They're gonna go over and under a bunch of logs. They're gonna climb a rope, and then they're gonna load 3 sandbags into the bin until it tips. Right?
All right.
That's an exclusive on this show. So we needed to get that out in the first 20 seconds in case it needs to work out.
There's no need.
And I'm out. I'm gone.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
wow.
you. Drop, mic drop.
If you guys caught that there, it's like this.
I gotta say this before our potential guest comes on. I'm shocked they're pulling again.
What do you mean?
Rope climbs tomorrow.
Bar muscle up, monkey bar, ring muscle up, rope climb, pegboard.
Totally.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I love the workouts. I think they're super cool. JR pointed out some of the order of events to me and a couple things coming back to back, which are like, man, that looking at it closely, that's crazy. But
Like a tree. Well, you were talking about everyone's lat's going to be sore coming into this one. I made the hanging thing, the shoulder thing for sure, but hands,
dude,
it's like attrition. It's like attrition of hands right now.
And well, do we think that the hands got more wear and tear because of the wetness of the bar that maybe wasn't necessarily factored in?
When pull up, everyone's used to doing pull-ups. Everyone knows how to use their grips and everything on rings and on bar muscle-ups and all that, but those are bad.
Pussy. Come on, dude.
But here's the thing, on those monkey bars, your hands do nothing but rotate on that bar. So it's just constantly doing this. And so, I mean, you get it wet even more, but if your hand's not used to that, it's going to go. But yeah, some of those hands went.
I bet
Emma Lawson's so bummed, dude.
Yeah.
She was doing great.
And the log though, I think the log set the tone.
Yeah.
Your hand grinding around that wooden log for 45 reps for dudes, 30 for ladies. And then going right into this workout.
That's a lot of friction, buddy.
It's a lot of friction.
Dude. My hands know a thing or two about friction, though. I would be trill.
I bet they do. You got that pump calloused up nicely, don't you? Okay.
There's Emma Lawson's hands right here.
Wow.
She had covered them in tape and then was peeling it off at the finish line. She had
every
shredded
spot
them.
is ripped open. That red is a raw spot that's pushing blood out. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And the other picture that I showed was Garrett Clark as well. Garrett Clark had completely shredded his hands. He couldn't even get probably 2 monkey bars across without just falling off and sliding.
So what are they going to do on the ring muscle ups?
Right.
Well, hang on.
Right.
Well, they're gonna tape their entire hand, obviously, Taylor.
They're gonna go out there with like boxing gloves.
Are you saying that when Garrett was doing his monkey bars, that Noah coming back to encourage him didn't heal his hands and get him to finish?
I mean, he has magical words of encouragement.
He was trying
You
to
can do it,
manifest
brother.
some healing.
Just feel good about yourself. Just enjoy the now. It'll get you across the cage.
They should beat off more, dude. They wouldn't have their hands all ripped up.
Well, he's not going to be doing that for a while.
Just saying, dude. Whatever.
Whatever.
Crazy. Yeah. And to think about the hinging too. So much pulling the sandbag into the bin, the 120 power snatches, the 1RM deadlift.
Yeah.
Before we get too much into the event, let's get the leaderboard up here real quick. I know you guys want to harp on it. You'll have some time, but our guest might be arriving shortly.
I don't want to harp on it when she's here. Fuck no, dude.
Right. Duh. Okay, so the leaderboard. Who do we want to start with? We'll start with whoever Caleb pulls up first. Okay, Roman Clinic. Starting with the men here. Bring it up. Oh, we're starting with the women here. Nope.
There we go.
Okay, we're back at the men. Here we go. It's like Taylor's 20s. Okay, so we got first place Roman Klinikoff, second place Jeffrey Adler, third place Pat Vellner, fourth place Chandler Smith. Surprised by that. Fifth place Brent Bukowski. Okay, so we'll stop right there with the top 5. Gentlemen, we surprised about anything? Pedro, you like this setup? What do you think?
Yeah, I had Vellner Smith and Roman in my top 3. So I'm heading in the right direction. I'm okay with this. I'm happy with this. And I love a bit of Brent, so top 5 for him. I'm happy with that. He needed that last one like fucking hell.
Did you see how he wound up the ski erg? Dude, that fucking nerd. I'm sorry, dude. I don't care.
How did he do it? How did he do it?
You'll never see me do that. He like gave one big pull and then
Right.
he went, wah, 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 wah,
His like double pump, like
He was
one
milk
big pull,
cuttering.
2 little double pumps, one
He
big
was swim
pull, 2
stroking the
little double-
skier.
He was
swim
milking the
stroking
cow, dude. That's what he was doing. He was yanking that udder.
Finished second.
Well, is there a strategy to that? Why would he do that?
No.
Well, he finished second, so whatever he was doing.
Yeah, well, it seemed to work out all right, huh?
I mean, unless maybe it was he did that to slow him down so he couldn't get. I mean, because you're spending the most of the time on the ski erg. You know, he's the long, tall guy like Roman. I mean, Roman crushed the ski, which we knew he would. And that was, I mean, God, he looked great. But I'm really shocked on that Chandler's still in 4th. I mean, he was 11th on that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was surprised to see him up in that top 5 after it shook out. Do we think he'll stay there?
But he'll
with
do
the
all right.
dead- dude, with the
I don't think
deadlift,
he will.
with the deadlift,
I mean, okay, he's got one in there with the deadlift.
but the ring muscle up handstand push up too. I don't think he's gonna be bad at with the power snatches. I don't know. I don't see any workout.
I don't know if he'll have the. That's like it's like a double Nate almost, and I don't know if he'll have the capacity for that to hang with like other guys. Like, I mean, I think even Noah's going to be up there in that one. I think Adler's in a great spot. I think the next event's going to be tough for Roman because of the length. The range of motion is going to be tough on him.
One thing that stuck out to me in this event, and this again, JR brought this up to me to give him credit, was how it always seems that Jeff Adler struggles adapting to new things. We saw it the first year with the parallel bars. Mm-hmm. We see it here with the monkey bars. It's like if something new is thrown in, he struggles with it. And for him, granted, struggling is a 9th place at Rogue. That's not horrible.
Right.
But with a ski, dumbbell, shoulder to overhead, and a monkey bar, you wouldn't expect middle of the pack from the fittest on earth.
Right.
Good point. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go down a little bit further too, and let's see give us like the top 10 shot there. Do we have any surprises? Oh wait, hold on, people. Hold
Ricky getting clobbered. That's a surprise. You think his hands are messed up?
on.
I think.
Katie, hello.
Hey.
Hi. Hi, welcome.
Gotta be
to the
quick
show.
tonight, guys.
Absolutely. You're stuck with the B team. I apologize. I'm in replace of Sevan, so this will either be better for you or be absolutely worse. Only time will
Not
tell.
wearing a basketball jersey, so let's do it.
All right, awesome. Hey, how many changes have you had to make with the weather there? Last night, I was wondering, we had made a prediction that you guys were gonna drag the bag up the hill, and then we made another prediction that maybe that got switched due to the wetness of the turf. Any comment on that?
That wasn't a change. But you guys always predict things that may or may not be right. I don't know. You're like 50-50 or less.
This is true. Broken clock is right.
Damn.
Dropping bombs right there.
Hey, look. In all serious, like it's been rough, right? Like we've been dealing with the weather. We knew that going into this. It's changed every hour on the hour since we got here last Sunday, and I'll give it to the athletes. They were awesome today. They were flexible. They rolled with us. That pop up at 4 or whatever time that was. That kind of came out of nowhere. To your first question, the bag drag was always in there. We had an original plan to finish through the actual finish line the day one. We made the change really early to keep it in the outfield. That was made 2 days prior. So that's the only change we made on the run. But yeah, that bag drag's always been in there. And that goes back to 2019. We did that in the Go Ruck run, the first event in 19.
Well, that's awesome. And I will say one thing that is amazing is the broadcast, the alternate broadcast, the premium broadcast. We were loving on it completely. Are you guys using the same broadcast team as the CrossFit Games uses?
I think there's definitely some different people, and we've added a lot of people. Look, that tailgate stream, we're trying to get as many people on as possible. I think we have right now like 25 or 30 people that are going to be on throughout the weekend, and that goes CrossFit and Strongman. But that was the whole point. You know, we're gonna obviously free to YouTube our normal broadcast, and we're gonna do a post edit with CBS. We have to have that, but we wanted to have fun. And if you listen to those guys today, That's what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to be themselves. I wanted to talk about the athletes. I want to talk about their experience. And I think that's really helpful and it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this could completely change the future of broadcast. I think you guys set the precedents there, and we'll see how this evolves in the future. Question: do we know what happened to Janikowski?
Yeah, he rolled his ankle coming down the hill during the run. I think everybody thought it was a cramp, but came back in this morning and wanted to not go forward.
That's awesome. We just vindicated
Super,
Caleb.
super unfortunate though. That's not what you want to see, right? They've trained really hard for this thing, and it is 20 people, and you don't want them doing that on the first event. But it's sports; it's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. And then the dumbbell, the Sears dumbbell, looked awesome.
They're pretty, aren't they?
Can we buy that?
Can't buy it. You can't buy it. And that's every year we've tried to do something where it's a play on strongman or something the strongman they've used in strongman. And that's like, if you look at the Sear dumbbell, we've done that at the Arnold and at the Invitational, and they're going to do it as a record breaker here this weekend. But we really wanted to put something in there that's, they have access to dumbbells, but just that sphere on the end and the way they're doing it, we did allow them. And that, again, for everyone, it wasn't a change. It was briefed, and that was in the rules before. They could use two hands to get it to the shoulder, just like strongman, and they could return it to their shoulder if they needed to with two hands. And that had nothing to do with the weather. But obviously that could have come into play here with the weather tonight.
Yeah. How far out do you plan these events?
Oh man, Josh and Spiel and I started working on these. Started talking about things in March. We really dialed in the queue May and June, and then right after we got those done, we started working on these workouts. So we've been through many iterations. We tested these with multiple athletes. Kalen Prevost came in for a weekend. We tested with Colton for a few of these, and that they were really helpful. It validated where we thought we were going to be on some of these time caps and the weights. We made some minor adjustments after some of the testing, but it's been spot on, and these athletes are kicking ass. I mean, you couldn't ask for, better attitudes and just coming out here and doing what they do.
Yeah, amazing so far. Bill, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was gonna say you've already had some really cool races, and one of the things I always wonder, especially with the evolution of what you guys are putting on event wise, there, what's that leading why of the purpose of the events, the way you're designing the events? You always have such unique tools and unique pieces that they'll never see any other, even in the games. Is the uniqueness part of how you're putting it together, like at the very beginning when you and Josh and Chris are sitting down, or like, is there a theme, or what's your theme?
It's not a theme. Obviously, there's a style to our programming, and you can see that through the years. That said, like, we want to be able to showcase the athletes, but we want to show them in a different light. The CrossFit Games are to find the fittest on earth. That's not what the Rogue Invitational is about. I know Taylor doesn't like this one for sure. We like to put on a show for the athletes. I know he doesn't like when I say that. That said, if we program a certain way, the same person is going to end up on the podium, but we can showcase the equipment. We can showcase different implements for the crowd, for the audience, and also expose the athletes to things they haven't touched before, which I think is really cool. Hopefully the athletes think it's cool, because it just can't be us that thinks it's cool.
Exposing athletes to something they've never seen before is probably one of my favorite things about CrossFit, and that's, would you say that's super important? I mean, you just said you love that. How important?
Yeah, and I think look at the log. Look at the log muscle ups this year. We had a lot of people that calved. Now it was a much different workout, but you saw the guys stringing them together. Yeah. And I think that evolution of just year two, and talking to most of the athletes, they didn't do that, in their training. They had maybe a little exposure, but nothing like that. And I think you just see how talented these athletes are year in and year out, and the base that they're building, and kind of pushing the bounds on where they're at.
Will that be for sale? That log?
Not at this point.
But potentially?
Potentially, I don't know.
Christmas is coming up. Just saying.
I don't, it's like the dumbbell, man. I'd love to put them for sale. I don't think you want to see the price tag on those things.
Will you guys make an aerial low-end bar, the neutral grip?
She brought that to us. I do think it's really cool. After we did that video with her, I think seeing that and seeing the different ways that you could train for a log bar, because she was training for a log bar on that, right? She just didn't have access to the log. And Magnus for Magnuson has brought us some similar stuff to look at. And I think that, we're always looking for new ideas. And anytime someone brings us something cool, we're willing to work with them and maybe bring it to life.
Awesome. Pedro, you got anything before we let...
I got like 2 minutes.
He's got 2 minutes.
Just I love it so far. Broadcast unbelievable. Like the options is just fantastic. Really love it.
Awesome. Caleb,
Katie, quick question. So I'm not sure what happened. Maybe somebody kicked the wire or something, but the plug came out of the clocks. What happened there?
Well, it turns out that sometimes when you have weather, we have some technical difficulties. And the thing there was we were trying to correct it in the moment. It took everything down. That said, we still had the chip times. We still had all the data. It just wasn't getting back to the stream. It wasn't getting back to the audience. Obviously, it's not a good viewing experience, but the most important thing is the athlete had the chip time. And that's all we're concerned about at the end of the day. I know the world doesn't like to hear that when you're watching something, and we try to get it as best as we can. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and obviously with the weather, that had to take precedent.
I don't think anybody even really noticed that it was out. I just looked really closely and I saw a buzzer or something, and I noticed.
Oh,
it.
I think a lot of our staff noticed it. So there was a lot of people here running around.
That's
right?
what makes you guys so great.
Little bit of hair on fire. That's why I got my hat on tonight, because it was a wild ride today. And thank everybody for tuning in. The crowd was great here today. They stuck it out. I don't think anybody left when it started raining, even when we had the delay. So that was really cool to see, and just really to put this thing together. But we got 2 more days that we have to get through, and there's probably going to be some weather that comes through, and we'll make some changes if we need to. But maybe the sun will come out tomorrow and we'll be okay.
Yeah, let's hope so. Adapt and overcome. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Last question, Kate, before I let you go. Dealing with all these changes, the uncertainty, the weather. Wait, are you taking vacation after this? What are you doing?
No, back to work, man. We're getting ready to go into heavy peak season for us back at home. I do have a day job. I wish I could do this all the time, but this isn't my day job, and really enjoyed that. But the team back home is holding it down, and no, Monday will be a work day for us. And as much as I wish I could go to the beach, that's not going to happen right now.
Katie, thank you so much for your time. It's just such a privilege. Thank you. We appreciate it.
See you guys tomorrow.
All right. You're a boss.
Thanks, Katie.
Bye.
Now I can eat, right?
Yeah. Yeah, please do so. Okay, I turned off the comments during that because there's no way I could watch people probably just ridicule me as I tried to.
You just missed Jeff Byko being a fucking twat for 5 minutes, but you didn't miss anything else.
What? Wait, who? Jeff who? Bio.
Oh, welcome back. Jeff is actually a good friend of mine. We went to high school together. He used to hit him quite a bit. Sorry about the prom thing, dude. I told you I didn't turn that way. Okay, so let's go back to that leaderboard. Caleb, can you please bring it back up for the men here?
I wanted to ask her least favorite movement in CrossFit or movement you might not ever program because you dislike it so much. I'll ask her if she comes back on over the next couple of days. Is that a dumb question? Should I not ask that?
What
Bill?
do you hate, and did they go into the workout or not?
Yeah, you might not ever get asked back again.
Yeah. Okay. I got crushed. Oh, fuck. Jonathan thought I got crushed. Okay. Fair enough. Hold on real quick. Let me read these so we can pay the bills real fast. Wad Zombie. Hiller dropping bombs on IG. Changed my mind. Hiller changed it.
Wait, really?
Back. Okay. Well, at least you're open to all things. Thank you, Wad Zombie. We got Jordan.
Wonder what the mind change was.
I know. We'll have to have him elaborate here. I know we all have our doubts about the old Tudor. Okay. Tudor Magner looking like a pro with Garrett out there. Feel for the guy. Fantastic. Thank you for your contribution, Jordan. We couldn't have done it without you. Okay. All right. Back to the leaderboard. All right. So who we got? We got Yellow Hoste. We got Noah Olson, BKG, Ricky Garrard, and Jason Hopper in 10th. Are we surprised by any of this? Oh, Travis.
Bummed about this. Ricky.
What are we bummed about?
Bummed for Ricky. I didn't see his hands bleeding, but it was all shoulders, and he just didn't have it, and that bummed me out.
How much of the grip do you think played a factor? Because I saw right when he came down off it, his hands look also pretty shredded.
Who? Ricky's? I don't know, man. It's hard to tell whose hands are bleeding. It's like all the grips are wet because of the rain, so it's hard to tell if it's soaked because of water or soaked because of blood. I mean, obviously Garrett, you saw red dripping off his hands, and in Emma Lawson, you could see it coming between her fingers too. But I didn't see his hands bleeding. It just looked like he didn't. I mean, he wasn't falling off the bar. He just wasn't moving very fast.
Somebody said Ricky's hands were bleeding bad in the comments. If you can see blood on their hands from the camera That's a
Yeah.
fucked rip.
Hell, that's a shit ton. Totally.
you also
I didn't see it though. I didn't
That's
see it, so I don't
crazy.
know.
That's
It is
crazy.
And if
So it's
that's
gonna
the
drop
case,
a little
if
bit.
that's the case, then what are we looking at? We're looking at like what already a quarter, 20% of all the athletes are shredded. And we have 2 more days of
we've got
pulling
ring
left.
muscle ups and rope climbs tomorrow.
Right.
Hope none of those weirdos have AIDS, dude. Like, if you have, what if you get blood all over that
Taylor.
rope, dude? I'm just saying, dude. If you get blood on that rope, they're not climbing up there to clean that off.
Okay. Anybody
I'm
else
not
surprised?
going after whoever.
Taylor, are you surprised by any of these 5 through 10
Um,
finishers here? Or through 12, really? Bailey Martin, Travis Mayer, and 11th, Bailey Martin.
How
and,
good are Bailey Martin and Yella Hossa doing? Like, for 2 rookies this year at the games, to follow it up, they had like a great games, and then to follow it up with this, I'm really impressed the 2 of them.
They're
Yeah, I
athletes.
mean-
Both of them are super athletic.
Yellow Hoste with a 2nd, a 14th, and what was that other one? A 4th?
4th.
And then Bailey Martin with an 18th, a 3rd, and a 12th. I mean, the 3rd place obviously keeps him up in the conversation.
I'm a bit surprised. I think Jason was capable of winning that workout, or if not, being way closer to Roman due to him being in the second heat. I think what I was surprised by is that he's been competing for 3 or 4 years at a really high level, and he hasn't learned that if you're in a bottom heat, you cannot back
Yeah, you're not
off
racing those guys.
at all. Because
You
there were
wanna-
points where he walked.
Yeah, a few times he looked over his shoulder, and it was like, dude, you're not racing them.
I know.
Like, you need
Well,
to fucking go.
I was looking at his splits compared to Roman's, and he actually had faster split times on the ski. But
Right.
because he didn't transition fast enough, and then
Right.
even on the cage, he came down a couple times, and he just wasn't pushing that. It's like he was pushing the ski only, or at least moving on the ski. But yeah, you're right. Like he didn't have any rabbit to push him.
Yeah.
He should have been thinking Roman the whole time.
Right. That's what I was surprised about. I'm like, dude, seriously, you can win this workout. Stop pulling back. But he's my buddy.
Okay,
I'm
Jason
hard on him.
Hopper in 10th. What are we thinking about that?
I think he'll continue to climb a little bit.
Yeah, Travis Mayer.
I do not think he's going to climb much.
Oh,
I don't know, man. I don't think that any of the events are going to line up for where he's really going to be able to excel. I mean, like the strength one, the deadlift, I don't think he's not going to be able to hang with those guys. I mean, he'll do decent. But I don't think that there's like a really grit only type of thing where he can just get nasty with. Above everybody else.
Yeah, I don't see him, like, at least in today's era, I don't see him as like that home run hitter. And
Not
he's
like he
also
was.
not, not like he was. And he's also not the guy who's going to be top 5 in every event. So I just think that, to be honest, this weekend, I think like 14th through 11th is like best case for him.
I don't disagree.
Okay. Can we scroll down a little
I
bit
get
more,
bummed
Chris?
about that, but I don't disagree.
Yeah. Which is still crazy. It's a Rogue Invitational. 14th through 11th is.
Okay, now we have this is interesting. Jay Crouch in 13th, Will Morat in 14th, Lazar Dukic in 15th, 16th is Victor Hoffer, 17th Dallin Pepper. Out of these guys here, what are we looking at? And this is our last one. Garrett Clark. Go back down a little bit for me, Caleb. 18th Tudor Magna, 19th Garrett Clark, and Janikowski, as we learned, is out. So, how about this lineup? Are we surprised by anybody
I'm
down
surprised
here?
by Dallin. I'm surprised by Dallin, yeah. But then another part of me is like, am I actually surprised by it because he had such a big games year? Maybe he's just like, it's just too soon after the games, and he's just not like, not gunning for it. He's just like there. Do you know what I mean?
He's another
Yeah.
bottom heavy guy, dude. I don't think he's a great runner, not the best runner. So I'm not surprised by that first workout. And at least this was a long time ago, but when we competed together at Wodapalooza, he was not great at muscle ups and handstand push-ups, things like that. He still struggled quite a bit with. We had talked about it. So I would expect improvement over that period of time, but still you don't go from being really bad at something and that's a weakness and a hole that you have to work on a ton to, okay, now you're top 5 at the Rogue Invitational in it like that. So I don't know. I'm not surprised, but I would expect him to climb for sure.
Yeah, that's a pretty low setting. I don't know though, man. Like I don't see him you don't see him getting in the top 10, do you?
How many points? He's got 105 points. What's the top 10 mark?
Yeah, let's go back a little bit. So he's at 105, and he would need to achieve
65
170.
points
So
right now.
65 points.
I don't know, man.
Difference. I mean, that's a lot to make up considering the guys in front of him, though, too.
I think he'll do really well on the duel. I think
I would have
will.
expected him to be where Noah is and Noah to be where he is. That's what I expected coming in.
Noah,
Like,
I'm
I
a little
thought-
surprised by as well.
I thought Noah was just like that run, like going around high-fiving everyone on the run. I was like, this guy doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's just having a good time. So I'm surprised he's up as high as he is. I thought Dallin would be there and he'd be down the bottom somewhere.
Okay, so surprised we're in Noah's in the 7th, huh? You just didn't think he was going to take it as seriously because he's high-fiving?
Well, he didn't take the games particularly seriously. Like, it was like a lip victory lap, or like, you know, it was like a final farewell or whatever. So I figured like this is just an extended version of that he's just dragging it out for another month or two.
Somebody
So,
said,
yeah,
"Give
I'm
Noah
surprised.
time. Give Noah time. He'll Noah it."
Okay, so what about Ricky Garrard? I mean, an 8th, a 1st, and then obviously what happened with the last event with an 18th. Like, are we going to see him catapult back up to that top 5 spot, or do we
Depends on his shoulder. If he has the shoulder as well with the handstand push-ups, like, you know, like it depends what stage he's at there. You assume he's fairly good if he fucking signed up for the competition, but like, you know, just it's like there's so as well because you don't know how bad people's injuries are with their hands and shit that you're kind of like, right, are they okay tomorrow for rope climbs and stuff, or are they going to be just like struggling, like on the struggle bus for that one, struggling with the ring muscle ups, and then just like lucky to hold on to a top 10 finish in those kind of workouts?
Yeah, well, we had made a comment earlier saying that it looked like quite a few of the competitors are suffering from the torn hands. So, and if that's the case, then it kind of evens the playing field, no?
Well, yeah, it evens the playing field for some of the other athletes that are shredded up. But you guys been talking about different tiers of the athletes that are in here. You're not going to be able to make a jump into the top tier if you're shredded up. And the other thing is this: like when your hands start to go, you start to move different. So now all of a sudden, if your shoulders are already weak for stabilizing and holding, you're going to be changing how you're moving and what you're trying to use, and then you're not going to have the endurance in those particular stabilizers to be able to move the same way. So
yeah, great point. Can you scroll back up to the top, Caleb, real quick, and we'll kind of finish off the men here and jump over to the women shortly.
Do you think anyone would ever withdraw from a torn hand like bad enough?
No.
I
Look at
think
Vellner at
happens.
the games.
Huh?
Vellner at the games, his hand was like barely a fucking hand, and he kept
well,
going.
yeah, but that's the games, though. That's the games. I mean,
there's more.
I think
money
it would
on the
depend
line.
where you were. If you were like
hand at the game,
if you were 19th, then okay, maybe
it might just not worth it.
This
Well,
is the
look,
thing.
a lot of time. Go ahead, Taylor. Go ahead.
Vellner's hand at the games was like a burn from the rope. So like it was bad and had a chance of getting infected, but it wasn't a deep wound from ripping a callus purely off the hand.
Right.
Like if you those red marks, these calluses are like 5 millimeters thick, dude. You rip that off, it's like deep, blood's coming out. I don't know, dude. Let's get some hand picks, dude. We could start a torn hands OnlyFans with all these athletes' hand picks.
Well, I think if they got a shot to earn some money here, I think they stay in it. And the only reason I would guess that is even if a pretty bad hand tore with the callus flapping in the wind, it's still not a long-term injury on an athlete.
Flapping in the wind.
Right?
I love it. I love carnage like that.
So, I mean, although it'll cause some pain and some discomfort through the rest of the competition, that's for sure. And like Bill just stated, like you're going to change some movement, so that could lead to some stuff happening. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily a long.
Everyone says that until they got that baby fresh skin that you can't even like wash your hair because the shampoo hurts too bad. And then you hop up on the rope that you got to do and you get all that like fiber in your hand. And you're like, I was going to be tough. Now this, whatever I'm going to get out of it, $1,000 is not worth it because it hurts really bad.
I feel like I get to a point though, if I have a really bad tear where once I get like a minute into a workout that's hurting it just goes numb.
Well, dude, it's not a hurting. It's you're bleeding everywhere.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I mean, it's like you're trying to compete with like salve on your hands.
Yeah.
Didn't they say that the rope climbs are any rope climbs? So at least it's not like they'd be fucked if it was legless rope climbs. At least.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
So
the
bad.
pegboards though, the pegboards are really hard on your hands. Holding the peg, they'll
all
work
of
grips.
the things. It's every single pulling possible gymnastic-y thing that we have. We throw it all into one weekend.
Jedediah Snelson says, soak them in Epsom salt.
Beeswax, dude.
Taylor, can
Beeswax
we
is
bring up the female leaderboard, please? Anything else, guys, about the men before we jump over to the other?
You know who just is still just amazed me is Will Morad. That guy will not go away.
Yeah.
He just won't. You
He's
never,
full of
you don't
shit,
think
too,
about
yeah.
him, and all of a sudden it's like there he is again, and you're like, he'll never hang out there, and he's just kind of right in there every time.
Where was he at again? I didn't quite see
I think he
it.
was like 7th, 8th.
Wow. He just won't quit. Okay. It's come down to this. Laura, Tia, trading blows. Laura, first place, 280 points. Tia, 275 points.
That's crazy.
Gabrielle is still hanging in there. Look at that at 235 points in third place. That's quite a bit of spread. I mean, now we're seeing 40 points difference. Are those two going to just start pulling away and fucking everybody else is competing for that last podium spot?
You assume so.
Yep.
All right.
I'm
I'm
shocked
lost
by
in fourth.
Gazan.
What's that?
I'm just a little shocked by Gazan taking a 16th in that one.
Thought you would have done
Yeah.
better.
Was that a hand thing?
Yeah, we don't know.
I
Good
would
for
have
Gazan.
thought she would have been able to fly through that,
Right.
and she just wasn't moving.
Strong upper, very strong upper.
Yeah.
You know what? I
And
think-
fucking lower too, though, dude. Honestly, after those back squats, I cannot get that out of my head. She was flying on the back squats.
It was funny because when I first saw that Killer Cage, it reminded me of like, what was that? The 2012 games when that was released? 2011? 2011 games.
Yeah.
I kind of remember thinking like the big thing in that was the 225 front squat. Like the Killer Cage kind of was just almost there. But in this one, I was wrong. I think they lengthened it out quite a bit more. And as those rounds went on, you saw that was a huge obstacle for them.
I think it would have been totally different if they were dry.
You think so?
I think so.
They had to be unbroken. They would have had to be unbroken.
I think it would have been okay.
I know. That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean-
but it would have definitely changed it.
I think that would have. Well, I mean, honestly, they should have just. You got those cool, badass dumbbells. Make it count for more than 8 seconds of time of the race.
Yeah.
Like those should have been like 10 on each side.
Yeah.
On 5.
Yeah.
And they didn't. Those didn't even count, and which is too bad because I mean they were pretty, but it was a waste.
It's
of
always
time.
interesting when movements like that are programmed in a little bit, where they're kind of, and that could have just been an opportunity to showcase it. They really wanted it to be a
True.
ski or couplet, but they dropped that in there because it just happened to fit really well. So we had scroll back up just a little bit more. Emma Lawson in fourth, I think at 225 points. In fifth place, we have Emma Carey at 195, Alex Kazan in sixth place, 170, Lauren Fisher in seventh. I'm saying it with a
That's
tone of
that's
affection.
shocking.
Yeah,
That's shocking.
That's a legitimate
That's
shocking.
shocking.
That's legitimate. That's
the most
worthy for
surprising
sure.
placing so far.
Is she going to be there on come Sunday? Top 10 on Sunday still?
Judging by the way the numbers are going currently, I don't think so. She's like just all of her placings are going further down each time, and I reckon that might
Okay,
continue
8th,
tomorrow.
11th, 12th. Okay, the trend continues.
I think Lauren Fisher will be top 10.
I mean, she could be right. She could sit right at that 10 mark for sure. I don't think she's gonna. I don't see her getting last in any of the events. Like she's not gonna do a Bethany Flores a 6:27.
I think Lauren Fisher, like for whatever reason, my perception of her is she's an athlete that's always been like mistake riddled.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember. Like I can't think of one thing that I'm like, wow, she just stinks at that.
Well,
Yeah.
parallel bars.
Really?
P-bars in the team event.
Yeah, that didn't
Yeah,
go.
thus,
she's
thus
pretty
Annie
bad at
decided to go
withdrawing
back
from a
and
team
go
that she's
individual
supposed to.
again.
Wasn't her shoulder? Oh, didn't she have like a broken collarbone though, or some shit?
Yeah,
like
she had a
that?
shoulder injury. Yeah.
Injury. Thrift shopper flippers. Lauren making an individual run.
She did
She
last year and didn't do it. She went to semifinals last year and didn't qualify. She's done the
Oh,
individual
she
run.
did the run. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was just a joke. I didn't
This is
get
the tail end of her individual run.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Hey, do we think Roman's banging his translator?
That is
Wow.
highly
You say
inappropriate.
wow.
Wow.
I say that. You bring up that.
Dude.
First
Wow.
off, wait,
Dude, it's just it's an innocent question.
this
Totally
is a safe
innocent.
space. Yeah, this is a safe space, and we're here to just not really do much. Just keep it positive, relatively boring, surface level, and move on. Okay.
Keep it
All right.
positive. Kick me off.
In 8th place, we have Paige Spender, 155 points. 9th place, Christine Golenbrander. 10th place, Bethany Forrest rounds out our top 10. Danielle Brandon in 11th. Are we surprised by that? I'm surprised by that. She's near and dear to my heart. That would be top 5 for sure.
That's your heart speaking, though, not your head.
You're right. That's the Democrat in me.
Man, Sevan isn't in this podcast right now, is he?
He's in the
He would have
earpiece.
libtarded you all over the place on that one.
He's not using that one anymore. So were you surprised by her 11th place? What do you think?
Yeah,
Bill?
she didn't look like she's doing anything. Even on that Killer Cage, did she look bothered when she was coming off the kit? No.
But even at the end there, all she had to do is like she just had to go past, and I know it's like she's probably fucking wrecked, but she had like 3 bars to get through, and she had whatever 45 seconds, and she would have got credited the rep had she got to the end. And it was just like, I'm just going to keep chalking my hands for a little while. It's like fucking get up on the bar.
Right. That's what I mean. Like it's if you're here to I like what I like about Danielle is when she has attitude. And I don't see the, at least right now, I don't see the attitude.
You like the attitude.
Well, I don't mean it's not about like flipping off the crowd all the time, that kind of thing, but like the fighter,
right?
That attitude, like let's like line them up, man. Like if you kick my ass, cool, but like let's go. Let's go. Not this. Well, maybe I might play. Maybe I'll jump up and maybe get the rep, or I hope that's again, we're just sitting back, totally armchair quarterback and what's going on over there. I mean, my hands aren't on the wet bars or anything like that, so I don't know, but it just seems like you normally see a little bit of angst coming from her, and I don't see it yet.
Yeah, and we don't know what's going on with her. So to the point you guys were kind of making earlier, like if something's up, I mean, she could just be at this point just there for a little camera time now, and just to have some fun, right?
Yeah,
payday.
She did leave Naples and is being like coached by someone else other than Matt, so there's a lot going on there.
Totally,
ton going on there.
Interesting. Changes. 12th place, Danny Spiegel.
That I'm shocked by. I'm surprised she's not dead last.
18th, 14th, and then a third. Just catapulted herself up there quite a bit.
She did really well in that last workout.
I was
genuinely shocked how well she did.
She's. I mean, I know there's a lot of Danny to be moving up on top of the rings and stuff like that. We've seen her do muscle ups, but this was her just hanging, and she's a good gymnastic mover. And then you couple that with the power output with the ski. Man, I knew she would do good. I was not.
I didn't see her as being the only female to go unbroken on all the rounds of the monkey bars. I did not see that coming.
That whole first heat confused me, honestly.
Yeah,
I was shocked
to unpack.
that there were a lot of women that did not finish. I mean, like 2. I'm like, what happened to everybody? I was shocked.
Yeah, and I think to your point, Bill, what you've said several times here, I think it's just like the wetness of the bar was just the factor that nobody really thought about or got in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Ariel Owen, 13th place. But here's what I see. I see that little 5th, a little shining light coming through on my girl. She's gonna start making her way back up to the top. What, Taylor? You disagree?
No, dude. I love her husband, dude. I'm gay for her husband.
Whoa.
Okay.
Dylan's my guy, dude. He's
I wish he'd build me a house.
Does he build houses?
Yeah, I think he's a contractor.
Yeah.
I want him to own a homestead with him.
Great, dude.
Caleb's in the market. We got a couple houses renovating.
Caleb's in the market.
You just
I'll do whatever, man. Just finish
I'm brooding.
I'll do whatever you want, man. I don't mind.
What do you guys think? Are you with me on this though? Is she going to make that march back up to the top? I mean, we've seen this kind of happen with her before, where it wasn't that great of a start, then she just steadily climbs back up to the top.
Well, those first 2 events aren't hers. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
like this, she should definitely climb higher than she currently is. She'll take Lauren Fisher's place in the top 10.
I think she'll smash the 4-8-12, the muscle up handstand push-up.
Totally.
I think she'll smash Big Cat. I don't know. I think she'll do well on the dual, but I don't know about the deadlift. I just don't know what her top end is.
Caleb, could you do me a favor and scroll back up to the top 5? I'll write it down this time. I apologize. I just want to see the points. Like, well, what is it going to take? She's at 135. I think it was something like 225, 215. We'll get her into top 5. 195. Okay, so it's not a huge gap from that to the top. Oh, yeah. Now you agree, huh? The math.
No, I wasn't saying she couldn't.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Scroll back down for it a little bit. Anything else on Miss Loam before we move on?
What are we moving on to? Oh, pass Ariel.
Below her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manon Angonese.
Thank you for pronouncing that. 14th at 125 points. 15th, Paige Powers at 120. Kyra Milligan in 16th at 115. Emily Rolfe, a 3rd and 19th and a 20th. Whoa, okay, at 100 points.
That was sad.
Yeah, what happened there?
Getting clapped. No idea.
She couldn't get the monkey bars. She was so slow on the monkey bars. She just crumbled.
Is that not crazy? We're watching 40 of the fittest athletes in the world, and they can't do a fucking monkey bar. Like, you
Dude.
never went to elementary school?
Shocking.
They don't have them in Canada, probably.
Crazy, dude.
Spreads COVID.
Surface.
We used to like
was
punch
really
each other in the
disappointing.
stomach while we were traversing monkey bars, like in elementary school.
Try to kick each other in the nuts.
Which
while
is
you're
nuts
hanging.
because if there was a toes to bar, if it was toes to bar instead of monkey bars, you'd be
Actually,
like,
Yeah.
oh man, Emily Rolfe, all in the bag. It's gonna be all her. It's gonna be all her. Hands
Yeah.
on the bars, she just crushes it. And then again, we didn't see her enough on there. So were her hands bleeding too? I don't even know. Now it's like I feel like we almost need like an inventory of everybody's palms before we move on to the next day.
Yeah.
To even have an idea of what everyone's going to be able to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
They could use that on the big screen. They could just have them all like standing like that on the
Yeah,
big
totally.
screen when they're next.
So you'd be like, yeah, yes, no, out. Gonna do well because there's only 3 people left.
Survival of the fittest hands.
Right?
There's just be someone with a stump being like, "Oh, I didn't do well."
Oh no, I know what they're doing. They're doing this so that they can then tomorrow give everyone the special Rogue gloves that cost like $8,500 each.
Worth it.
And then that will be the selling point for everyone, and that'll be the next thing that everyone buys for Christmas. It won't be the dumbbells; it'll be the Rogue gloves.
I think that little plasmid is wreaking havoc on her body, and that's what happened in that event.
3 ships free. Okay, down to the bottom here. We have Elena. My mic cut out there. Sorry if you guys didn't catch that. 19th.
Smooth. Smooth. I don't know what.
Dude,
that's
Mananganese' name sounds like an Italian charcuterie meat. Like it's just like a meat you would see at the grocery store that you would eat with cheese and maybe a grape.
Oh, it sounds like some sort of
Right?
raw.
She
vegan
didn't say
mayonnaise.
like mayonnaise, like a deli spread or something like that. you know?
Oh, that too. Oh, dude, definitely a spread, not a meat. For sure, a spread. Think about that.
And to round us out here, 19th, 100 points. Shelby Neal, 20th at however many points? Less than 100. Okay.
70.
70 points. 70 points. 20th. Okay, back up to the top, please, Caleb. All right, so we have our 2 that are just absolutely running away with it. Is anybody going to break in there? Do we see any holes potentially coming up that are going to just push one of them or both of them down a little bit? I mean, Laura Horvath, 4th, 2nd, and a 1st. By the way, guys, I'm going to call her in a moment here just to keep up with the tradition and see if she'll answer my call. And then we have Tia in 2nd here with a 1st, a 5th, and a 2nd. Anything on the horizon that we think is going to potentially give either of those 2 ladies trouble? Bill?
I think everyone's going to want to say something about the handstand push-ups with Laura, and I just don't think that with those, I think she'll be fine. So I think that will still be a big battle between her and Tia. What's nice is I like the fact that I think Gabby and Lawson will still be in the mix on a lot of those events. You know, I don't think that they're going to get dropped down. I don't see Laura and Tia ending up at like 8th or 10th or something like that somewhere. I don't see that. I don't see it with the events that are coming up.
Pedro?
Yeah, I mean, I would have said the deadlift would be maybe a tricky one for Tia to keep up with, like, you know, coming back. But like the squats were obviously a piece of piss. So her pelvic floor is obviously just, you know, invincible. So she's just absolutely fine. And there's like, she basically just didn't have a child. So what the fuck do I know?
Is there any comments on that?
Any comments on that?
Sure, that or anything you see coming that will potentially push these 2 ladies out of those top 2 spots.
I think Pedro's right. I don't think she had a kid, dude. I think it's a conspiracy. I think it's an AI generated baby, dude. For the viewers,
It's actually the child that Roman had with his translator. And they've adopted her and brought it to
Criminy.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Dude. No, I look at the 5th place in that middle workout, and I wonder if Tia did that on purpose to save her hands. I don't know.
Were you watching the tailgate for the last one?
I was not. I was watching the regular stream.
Hopper was on, and I don't know if he was joking or not, but they were asking him about the second workout, and he was like, well, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to do particularly well, so I just slowed down. He was like, what's the point? And then he was like, save myself for this one. And they were like, yep, I respect it. So you're probably not wrong if you think that's what Tia did.
Interesting. I just always figured that if they're out there competing, they just want to fucking win regardless.
No, a lot of athletes have that attitude in certain workouts.
Yeah, but Tia has never had that attitude.
Right. I don't think she
Like
did.
I think for her to do that would be so out of her realm. Like she doesn't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I mean, when is she ever? I've never seen her pull the reins back.
Mm.
Not that she's going ballistic, like out of control, but never pulled the reins back to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take this one. I'll just kind of settle back a little bit. I mean, not to say she couldn't. I mean,
yeah, well,
she's been on the floor a long time.
Yeah, and this early in a competition, I don't see her doing that because, I mean, somebody with her experience and competing at the level she does, she knows every single point matters so much. So if you're this early in the competition, you're kind of pulling back for some reason and you miss out on a handful of points, like that could be mental at the end.
Or maybe she doesn't know that because she usually just hammers everybody. And so she never has to worry about a couple points.
She got comfortable on those sheets. She got
what you said about Jason is crazy because I don't think that's an approach you should ever take into an event or like a winning mindset. But I've heard that his hands are fine. And if everyone else's are shredded to oblivion, I would be shocked if he didn't climb a ton. If he saved his hands from getting destroyed for the rest of the competition and everyone else's are hamburger meat, I mean, that's a pretty good advantage.
That's a huge advantage.
Yeah. Okay, so anything with the women that we didn't uncover that we want to talk about here before Taylor breaks down the dual 3 for us one more time?
What about Brittany?
In case you missed it.
Britney Spears?
Brittany Flores.
Oh, Bethany.
Bethany.
Bethany, I mean, Bethany Flores. Sorry. My bad. It is. How do you do that well in your heat? Moving like that.
I know.
It was insane. I mean, I get it. I think she's totally being protected right now. I think she's protective of herself. But it was so crazy. It was like every single pull on the ski erg was like, okay, nice and easy. Okay, nice and okay. Don't overextend. Okay, keep it mellow. And then the same thing on the cage.
Yeah,
that was nuts.
Very deliberate.
My 3-year-old like does the monkey bars with me, like holding her feet, and she goes like, Bethany is worse.
I mean, the thing is, like, we've known since she's come back from her back injury,
that's what I was gonna
say. She will put that as priority.
Right.
It's making through the competition first, and then like where I can go, I go. And like
whatever happens,
coaches, she like Haley, and what the fuck is his name? Josh, they're working with her, and Perrin is working with her. Like they're not. I think that's always a priority: is finish the competition and like get through it and enjoy it or whatever, and then see on workouts you can push. The last 2 were obviously ones that she didn't feel. I mean, she didn't do badly in that one. She did quite well considering like she was moving like a 5-year-old, but like.
7th place. I mean, it did her good, right?
Place, man.
Terrible.
That's what's so crazy.
And how much was fucking bizarre as well. Like
how much of
the whole package was just weird.
How much of her injury do you think is psychosomatic?
75%.
Man, you think a ton of it?
Yeah.
You think a ton of it?
Caleb Beaver, who's spoke.
You think it's? I do too. I mean, honestly,
I think if you're going to continue, to baby an injury for as long as she has, it's been like 3 fucking years. I think it's all psychosomatic at this point.
Right. And still compete and be able to do unreal things, but then like something that's like completely arbitrary just seems to like what?
It's like
you go she went to semifinals and snatched whatever she snatched or did the 135 barbells unbroken, like touch and go, like doing touch and go power snatches, like the eccentric, bringing it down. That's as dangerous as anything.
Yeah.
It all started when she got the Rona. That's in this.
Oh, wow. She's got the plasmid running through her veins too, bro.
Damn.
A little special delivery. That's crazy.
Okay, so Bethany Flores, slow and steady wins the race, or at least gets you 7th there. Okay. Anything else with the women that
doesn't win you anything?
Cover? What's that? What?
Slow and steady just doesn't win anything. It comes 7th. Good job.
Phenomenal. Okay. Let's piece that thing down. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the events tomorrow, unless there's anything else that you guys want to add to this. with the women.
Oh, not women, but best thing I saw today was Bailey Martin's slide finish coming in ahead. Was it Will Moorhead he came in ahead of? That I was like, oh, like when he slid, I was like, fuck, I think he missed it. And it was like 0.03 of a second. I was like, even if his whole rest of his weekend is shit, that was a phenomenal moment sliding across the wet rubber. That was just so cool.
I was waiting for more people to do it, and he was the only one who did. I was kind of disappointed.
Chandler, I was sure Chandler was going to do it, and he did. I think he knew though. I'm just too far. It just looks stupid, like sliding and just like finishing last.
Hey, I'm just happy that we got to see that race on the TV. So that was solid. Great.
What's rare is wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also doing camera consulting, so if anybody needs it. Okay, so event 4, 10th inning here. We have 10 rounds, 4 ring muscle ups, perfect for their hand smile, 8 handstand push-ups, 12 power snatches at 95-65. For some reason, I feel like the power snatches are going to be more of a factor on people's hands than the ring muscle ups. Any opinions on that?
I don't think it will. Not at that weight. I don't think so, because you can open up at the top too. I mean, as you're moving, and after a handful of rounds into it, I mean, you'll start to see more of a relaxed tempo, rather than like, you know, winging it up and pulling it right back down again. You'll find they'll settle into that tempo with their hands. I don't think that'll be a problem. I think the rings will be bad.
More of a factor.
Shredded.
Yeah, I mean,
I think with people's hands, I think the snatches and the muscle ups with people's hands are going to be brutal. I think what I would expect to throw a wrench in the workout more than anything would be the 8 handstand push-ups, like just muscular fatigue wise. And I'm really good at handstand push-ups. I would expect for people who aren't the best at them to get in that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 round after all of the snatching and all of the ring muscle ups, and that be the sticking point that would surprise you.
Yeah, I think that also could be the anchor to the workout there, because both of those are going to affect the handstand push-ups, and with the 8, that volume creeps up just a little bit quicker than it does with that muscle up.
Their midlines are already shredded. The power snatch is going to destroy it even more. When your low back gets fried, stabilizing at the top of the handstand push-up, it all just gets wonky. I don't know. I look at that and see
it's a lot of push.
Right, a ton.
It's a lot of push. The ring muscle up, you got 40 of that. They're going to be locking out on top that they're going to be making a big deal about. You got to lock out for the overhead, the handstand push-ups for sure, and then that support on the snatch. It's really funny because we've done all this pull, and I mean, yeah, everyone thinks ring muscle up. There is pulling on that for sure.
It's pressing, yeah.
But this is all pressing. It's all that lockout.
Okay, so we want to do some predictions for this. Let's start with the guys. Who are you thinking? I could go first if you guys want me to. Just break the ice so everybody feels
Offer.
All right.
I thought Vellner.
Do you know who's going to do well on this? Because he doesn't give a shit. It's going to be Noah.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to do well on it.
I would have picked Noah, but I feel like traditionally, what do we see happen? He'll lead the pack in maybe the rounds 1 through 4, 1 through 5, and then in those rounds
1 through 9.
But with these, I don't think that he'll break down like that. If it was a heavier snatch or something, then maybe. I think it's still pretty light. It's kind of like we saw when he was in the games. It was when they did Cindy, and he was racing Matt.
Mary.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
you're right.
He held that capacity the whole time. It was pretty impressive. Hopper. I hope Hopper does well. I think Adler's going to do well on this one too.
Pedro, I heard you say. Who'd you say? Vellner? That you?
Yeah, I went for Vellner for this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my pick for this one as well too. Taylor,
convenient.
Great pick, you guys. Great pick.
I think the gymnastics specialist Hoffer. Yeah, that's such an inspired selection.
Okay, Wanka, come on. It's the same thing for Vellner, dude. Fuck you then. I'm picking Tudor Magda.
Pick Hopper, you pussy.
Push her back and forth. All right, so and the reason why I picked Vellner is I just think these movements are traditionally good for him, but the other thing that he has up his sleeve is he's really great at pacing.
Yeah. It's the mix of those two things, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like he probably won't be much of a factor when we're talking about the first couple of rounds, but I think in those later rounds,
he's the opposite. He's the opposite of Noah. So he's like when Noah starts like blowing up and making a mistake, Vellner just like creep past him. That's exactly the way I pictured it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So do we want to do the last place thing too? Let's do that.
Will Morat's probably a great pick for this workout.
I saw that. Justin
Yellow
B's
Holster.
over here. Will Morat.
Yellow
Holster
for last place.
Yeah, who do you got for first place? Just hop on the
Mm,
Velner wagon, buddy. It's nice and comfortable up here.
I'll go We'll go Velner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pick.
I've got Garrett Clark for last place because his hands look
His hands were ripped. Okay, that was actually a good call. He couldn't hold on to the bar at all.
grody, dude. Terrible.
So wait, who'd you say again for last place?
Garrett Clark.
Was that Caleb's or was that you, Taylor?
That was me. Who did Caleb say? Yellow Hosta is what he
Yellow
said.
Hosta. Yeah.
Oh, Hoste. Okay.
Some length.
Tall guy syndrome. All right.
Yeah.
You going with that too, Bill?
Yeah, sure. Throw the rookie under the bus like that.
Chair's going more at not for last, but I think for first.
For first.
For first.
Okay, so that's 2 for Yellow. Pedro.
Pacer.
Peter.
You just sound like a pedophile. You didn't sound
shit. No. You know who's gonna have a rough time is gonna be Ricky.
Oh, okay. Are you changing?
I'm gonna change.
Last?
I don't want Ricky to be last, but I'm just saying he's gonna have a hard time.
See, I don't want to pick Garrett because everyone's picking Garrett. But
only I picked him.
Oh, I'll go Garrett then. Yeah, I was going to just throw Ran. I was going to be like Hopper, and then if it didn't happen, everyone would forget it. But if it did, they'd be like, "Holy fuck!"
Okay, women.
Okay, and I'm just gonna go with Bailey Martin because it was the first one I looked up when I saw there. That's the safe spot. Okay, women. Who we got first place? Bill, want to kick us off?
I'm gonna go Gazan on this one.
Gazan. Okay. All right. Taylor.
Man, I would have picked Emma Lawson, but her hands.
But her hands, exactly.
Dude, I don't know. Under normal. Tia.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with for sure.
Should have said Laura just because.
Pedro, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to create a safe space, and I'm going to go for Tia.
Wow. I feel unsafe with that accent.
Fucking disrespect. Caleb, who you got?
You didn't say that when I was whispering in your ear last week.
What did he say?
We'll just leave that one scratched off the record there. Caleb, who is that? Sorry. Get some feedback.
I like Gazan on this one too.
Gazan. Okay. All right. You know who I'm going with? You guys know?
Danny
Yeah,
Spiegel.
you already said it. You said Tia.
Yeah, I know. But now I'm changing my mind. I'm going with Ariel Owen. That's who I'm rolling with. And
I
then
like it.
also Tia, 2. Place 2 bets across the board. Okay, who we got? Who's not going to do so well in this?
Paige Semenza.
Okay. You were quick with that one. What do you know? Her hands are shredded up too, or?
No, I just have a feeling she's gonna.
All right.
For this weekend.
Okay. Beautiful. Pedro.
Lauren Fisher.
Oh
Wow, last?
For last?
You're fucking high.
no way.
Do they even make weed in Ireland? Can you get that stuff there?
Yeah, we got like thistles and stuff, like weeds.
What? Thistles?
For the Phillies. Okay, Taylor.
I'm having a really hard time with it. I want to say Danny Spiegel because of the muscle up standard, but she's really athletic and it's a kipping handstand. She's amazing in handstand push-up, super strong on the barbell.
I know.
So I don't think she'll take last. Man, Rolf.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think Rolf too, but only because actually I'm gonna go with I'm gonna it's always hard. I feel like my opinion actually matters now that I'm the one talking, and usually I'm just in the background a little bit here. I'm gonna go with Paige Powers too. I'm just gonna follow Caleb's lead on that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop it, dude.
Yeah,
She's not gonna
I'm
take
just fucking
last.
picking somebody else that somebody else picked. I don't even know, dude. I'm just fucking trying to figure
That pick was so left field. I bet Caleb said height earlier on. She ignored him, and now he's like, "All right."
Yeah, try to get an interview with her, Caleb. See how that goes. Okay, did we get any, okay, we already talked about one last thing. Somebody had a great comment in here. I think it was Jimmy World, who's now Daniel Brandon's next door neighbor. He asked about the strict is a handstand push-ups. What do we know about them? Are they strict? Did they talk about that? Did they release anything on them?
No, I think they're just
I haven't seen
regular
anything.
kipping.
I think they're regular.
So we're going with regular kipping.
Regular.
All right, fantastic. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we sign this off here? My heart rate's been at 165 this whole entire time. It probably can't be healthy. So
It's
That's
CrossFit,
normal.
dude.
Dead.
Z2. It's a Z2.
Dead silence. Okay. All right. Oh, kipping. JR Howe confirmed it. So now we know.
They're
JR.
kipping anyhow. What fucking ways can you do kipping?
He means you can do the handstand push-up however you want. Strict kipping,
Oh, okay.
One-legged.
working handstand push-up.
Have you seen the one-legged kip? Bill,
You
you know
can do
what
the
I'm talking about?
helicopter kip.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna go with this? You got Chris Spieler, 2013 med ball parallel handstand push-up. He wore a beanie
That's
and
right.
he kipped with one leg.
That's right.
Well, he
Okay.
wore a beanie because he wasn't stupid because he didn't want to bust his bald head up on the metal plate.
I don't remember that part. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This is awesome. Pedro with Coffee Wads and Pods. Go there, but only watch my interview. Don't watch anything else so I could boost up my views and better my self-esteem. Taylor with the Self-Made Training Program. Buy it or you could just fuck off. Okay, Bill. Thank you, Bill. CrossFit Inferno. Longtime OG. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Caleb Beaver from the Shadakin Live and Rogue. Thank you guys. Let you call in. Yeah, go ahead and call. We'll